working from home has become the new normal. But here's something you might not know. 41% of remote workers feel more stressed than they did in the office. Gallup, 2021. Surprised? Many people think remote work is all about freedom and flexibility. The truth is, it can come with unexpected challenges, and even hurt your career if you're not careful. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on what working from home really means for your career. You'll learn how to avoid burnout, stay productive without office boundaries, and master virtual networking like a pro. Plus, I'll reveal the key strategies that can help you climb the career ladder, even if you're in your pajamas. Stick around because by the end, you'll know how to make remote work for your career, not against it. Ready to dive in? Let's get started. Chapter 1, The Work from Home Mirage, Separating Myths from Reality. Work from home sounds like the perfect scenario, right? No more long commutes, no more dressing up for the office, just you and your laptop at home. But here's the thing, it's not always as dreamy as it seems. In fact, studies show that 61% of remote workers say they struggle with feeling disconnected from their teams. Buffer, 2021. Sure, flexibility is a perk, but isolation can sneak up on you. One big myth is that remote work equals more free time. While you might save time on commuting, many end up working more hours. A report from Owl Labs found that remote workers put in an extra 26% more hours than their in-office counterparts. That's the irony. What seems like more freedom can actually lead to burnout if you're not careful. Another common misconception is that you'll automatically be more productive at home. Yes, some people thrive, but others find distractions, kids, pets, or even the temptation of Netflix, too hard to resist. A study by Protascore Research shows that employees are 47% more productive working from home, but only if they set up a dedicated workspace and stick to a routine. It's important to separate fact from fiction. Remote work isn't the escape from the grind that many imagine. You still need discipline, structure, and boundaries to make it work for your career in the long run. Chapter 2, Unlocking Productivity, How to Thrive Without Office Boundaries. Now, let's talk about what really makes remote work successful: productivity. It's not just about getting through tasks, it's about being smart with your time. One key strategy is to follow the 90-minute rule, inspired by the ultradian rhythm, which suggests that humans are most productive when working in 90-minute bursts followed by short breaks. This approach helps you maintain focus and prevent burnout. Another tip? Get comfortable saying no. When you work from home, boundaries can blur, and you might feel the pressure to be always available. But constantly saying yes leads to overload. According to a study published in the Harvard Business Review, people who learn to say no more often increase their productivity by up to 25%. And here's a unique strategy: create a commute ritual, even if you're not leaving the house. This could be a 10-minute walk, a cup of coffee, or some light stretching. Studies show that mimicking the structure of an office day, including having a defined start and end time, helps remote workers stay on track and avoid the always working trap. Data from Stanford University's 2-year study on remote work showed a 13% increase in employee performance due to fewer distractions at home, but only when people maintain clear routines. So, productivity isn't about where you are, it's about how you manage your time and energy. Chapter 3, Virtual Networking, Your Secret Weapon for Career Growth. Let's get real. Networking doesn't stop just because you're not in an office. In fact, building a strong virtual network is crucial if you want to advance your career while working from home. Here's a surprising stat: 85% of all jobs are filled through networking, according to LinkedIn. So, even if you're remote, those relationships matter. But virtual networking takes a different approach. You can't rely on bumping into colleagues in the hallway. Instead, be proactive. One of the best strategies is to schedule virtual coffees. Reach out to coworkers, industry leaders, or even LinkedIn connections, and set up 15-minute video chats. It's less formal than a meeting and helps keep your relationships warm. Another great tip comes from the book Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. He talks about pinging, or staying in touch with your network regularly. A quick email, a LinkedIn message, or a thoughtful comment on someone's post keeps you top of mind without being pushy. And here's where data backs up the importance of networking. Professionals who actively network are 58% more likely to land leadership roles. The key is consistency. Don't wait until you need something to reach out. Foster those connections now, and they'll be there when you're looking for your next opportunity. Lastly, remember that virtual networking isn't just about climbing the ladder. It's also about learning. Find online communities, join webinars, and engage in conversations on platforms like Twitter or Reddit. It keeps you sharp and in the loop with industry trends, even from your home office. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on career advancement and remote work strategies. You won't want to miss what's coming up next. Chapter 4, From Invisible to Irreplaceable. Making your mark remotely. When you're working remotely, it's easy to feel like you're out of sight, out of mind. But here's the truth, you can still stand out and make yourself invaluable to your team. One key strategy? Over-communicate. When you work remotely, people don't see you grinding away on tasks. So, make sure you regularly update your boss or team on what you're working on. According to a Gallup report, remote employees who communicate with their manager at least once a day are 3 times more likely to be engaged. Another great tip is to become the go-to person for something specific. Identify an area where you can specialize or take initiative. Whether it's mastering a new software tool or leading a project, owning a niche makes you indispensable. In his book Deep Work, Cal Newport argues that deep focus on skill building gives remote workers an edge, and his research shows that high-level skills lead to faster career advancement. One unique strategy? Leverage video. Whenever possible, choose video calls over emails or Slack messages. Why? A Forbes survey found that people remember 95% of a message when delivered by video compared to just 10% when reading it. Plus, video helps you maintain a human connection, which is critical when you're not physically in the office. Don't forget to ask for feedback. Just because you're not in person doesn't mean you should skip performance reviews. Regular check-ins give you the chance to improve and demonstrate that you're committed to growth. And remember, visibility isn't just about being seen, it's about making an impact. Go above and beyond, and you'll quickly become irreplaceable, even from a distance. Chapter 5, Climbing the Ladder in Slippers, the remote route to promotion. Think promotions only happen in the office? Think again. Remote workers can still move up the ladder, it just requires a bit more strategy. One major key is results. When you're not physically in the office, the most important thing is what you produce. As the 4-Hour Workweek author Tim Ferriss emphasizes, focus on being productive instead of busy. Make sure your work speaks for itself. To get ahead, you need to be proactive. Don't wait for your boss to assign new tasks, volunteer for high visibility projects that align with company goals. A study by the Harvard Business Review found that employees who seek out leadership opportunities and take initiative are 10% more likely to get promoted. Even remotely, you can put yourself in front of decision makers by leading projects that matter. Another useful strategy is to align your goals with your company's mission. In one survey by McKinsey, 70% of employees who felt their personal goals were linked to their organization's mission were promoted within 2 years. When you show that you're invested in the company's success, it becomes clear you're ready for the next level. Don't forget about self-promotion, too. It might feel awkward, but you need to advocate for yourself. Share your wins, track your achievements, and make sure your manager knows the value you bring. According to a LinkedIn survey, employees who regularly highlight their contributions are 27% more likely to be considered for promotions. The bottom line? The ladder may look different remotely, but you can still climb it, and sometimes, slippers work just fine. Chapter 6, Future-Proofing Your Career. Remote work trends. You can't ignore the future of work is changing fast, and remote work is a big part of that shift. If you want to stay ahead in your career, you need to keep up with new trends. One of the most important skills to develop? Digital fluency. According to the World Economic Forum, 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025, with a heavy focus on digital skills. Remote work demands you stay sharp with technology. Tools like Zoom, Slack, and Trello are just the beginning. Another trend to watch is asynchronous communication. With global teams and flexible hours, being able to work independently without constant real-time meetings is critical. GitLab, a fully remote company, has mastered asynchronous work. Their employees say it boosts productivity by eliminating unnecessary meetings and allowing deeper focus on tasks. Learning how to communicate and manage your time in this way can give you a major advantage. Flexibility is also becoming a top priority for companies. In fact, a Gartner survey found that 82% of company leaders plan to allow remote work at least part-time moving forward. This means that hybrid work models are likely the future, and adapting to both in-office and remote settings will be key to future-proofing your career. Finally, staying connected to industry trends through online communities and continuing education is vital. Platforms like Coursera and Udemy saw a 640% spike in enrollment during the pandemic, showing that professionals are investing in their skills more than ever. As the landscape shifts, so must you. Constant learning and adaptability are the only surefire ways to stay competitive in the remote era. To wrap it up, remote work is here to stay, and it's evolving fast. If you focus on building the right skills, managing your time, and staying ahead of industry trends, your career will not only survive, it'll thrive. If you found this information valuable, please subscribe for more insights and strategies on how to succeed in your career. You won't want to miss what's next.